In the early 20th century, a peculiar and dangerous trend swept across America. Radium, a newly discovered element, was being hailed as a miracle cure-all. Little did people know that this glowing substance would soon become the key ingredient in one of the most hazardous energy drinks ever created. Picture this, it's 1918, and you're feeling a bit run down. You head to your local pharmacy, looking for something to perk you up. The pharmacist reaches behind the counter and hands you a small bottle filled with a luminous liquid. Try this, he says with a smile. It's the latest thing, guaranteed to give you a real boost. What you're holding is Radithor, the world's first radioactive energy drink. Made with radium-infused water, this concoction promised to cure everything from impotence to arthritis. And people couldn't get enough of it. But how did we get to a point where drinking radioactive material seemed like a good idea? To understand that, we need to go back a few years to the discovery of radium itself. In 1898, Marie and Pierre Curie isolated radium from pitchblende ore. The scientific community was fascinated by this new element that seemed to defy the laws of physics. It glowed in the dark, gave off heat, and appeared to have almost magical properties. As news of radium's discovery spread, entrepreneurs saw dollar signs. They began incorporating small amounts of radium into everyday products. You could buy radium-infused toothpaste, cosmetics, and even food. The public was captivated by the idea that this mysterious substance could improve their lives. Enter William J. A. Bailey, a Harvard dropout and self-proclaimed doctor. Bailey saw an opportunity to cash in on the radium craze. In 1918, he founded the Bailey Radium Laboratories and began producing Radithor. Each bottle of Radithor contained about 1 microcurie of radium. To put that in perspective, that's about 1 million times more radioactive than what's considered safe today. But back then, people had no idea of the dangers. They were simply excited by the prospect of a drink that could cure all their ailments. The marketing for Radithor was aggressive and misleading. Advertisements claimed it could restore youth, increase vigor, and cure a host of medical conditions. Testimonials from satisfied customers further fueled the craze. One of Radithor's most famous devotees was Eben Byers, a wealthy industrialist and amateur golf champion. Byers began drinking Radithor in 1927 after injuring his arm. He was so impressed with the results that he started consuming up to 3 bottles a day and even gave it to his racehorses. For a while, Byers seemed to be the perfect poster boy for Radithor's supposed benefits. He claimed to feel healthier and more energetic than ever before. But the reality of radium's effects was slowly catching up with him. By 1930, Byers' health began to deteriorate rapidly. His teeth started falling out, and he developed painful bone infections. Doctors were baffled by his condition until they learned about his Radithor habit. Byers' case brought national attention to the dangers of radium-based products. The Federal Trade Commission launched an investigation into Bailey's claims about Radithor. As the truth about radium's harmful effects became known, the public's perception began to shift. The final nail in Radithor's coffin came in 1932 when Eben Byers died. The Wall Street Journal ran a now famous headline: "The radium water worked fine until his jaw came off." This gruesome description of Byers' fate shocked the nation and effectively ended the radium craze. In the aftermath of Byers' death, the government took action. The Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 gave the FDA greater authority to regulate food and drugs, including radioactive products. Radithor and similar products were pulled from the market. But the legacy of Radithor didn't end there. The effects of radium poisoning can take years to manifest, and many who had consumed these drinks continued to suffer long after they were banned. The Redither story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unregulated products and pseudoscience. It's easy to look back now and wonder how people could have been so naive. But at the time, radium seemed like a miracle substance, and the long-term effects of radiation exposure were not well understood. Today, we have a much better understanding of the dangers of radioactive materials. The idea of drinking radium for health benefits seems absurd, but it's worth remembering that there was a time when it was considered cutting-edge science. As we reflect on this bizarre chapter in history, it's important to consider what lessons we can learn. The Redither saga highlights the importance of scientific research, regulatory oversight, and consumer education. It reminds us to be skeptical of miracle cures and to question extraordinary claims. In many ways, the story of Redither is a cautionary tale about the dangers of embracing new technologies without fully understanding their implications. It's a reminder that what seems like progress can sometimes lead us down a dangerous path. So the next time you reach for an energy drink, be thankful it's not glowing in the dark. And remember the strange and hazardous history of the world's first radioactive energy boost. It's a sobering reminder that sometimes the cure can be worse than the disease.